Jen everyone and welcome back to Soldier Unplugged. Today we are going to be having our second lecture which is on using politeness and formulas in the conversation. Okay. Now these are not only necessary to have you build a good communication but also sound polite and to make your work get done. Okay. Now firstly let's see why politeness actually matters, right? Politeness matters because what? It builds trust and respect, right? Now you would have seen many managers in highly professional. They just come, do their work, and they just go, right? They don't care about people. They don't care about how you feel about what they say. They just want to get the work done, right? Now you need to understand that it actually builds trust and respect, right? If you are in a managerial position, if you actually use your politeness in a way that not only gets you the trust but also respect from your people, right? It elevates professional and personal communication. Okay, this is second. Third, it also helps you handle complex conversations gracefully, right? When you have to actually handle tough situations, politeness actually helps you handle the situation and the complex conversation very gracefully. All right. Now, let's see what are the learning objectives for today. By the end of the session, you will be learning how to use the polite language effectively, okay, in your advanced scenarios, applying conversational formulas for professional and casual contexts, okay, and also respond politely to the challenging situations, okay. These are the few objectives that we're going to be having learned today, okay. Now, first, the importance of politeness, right? Politeness in communication. What does it demonstrate? It demonstrates emotional intelligence, right? That you are intelligent here. Anyone who is not polite in his communication or is not understanding, what his words might play an impact on the other individual that is listening is not that smart, right? Now, it also creates a positive impression, right? That's second, and enhances conflict resolution skills. Okay. Now, for example, directors, you're late, right? Polite was, I was wondering if everything was okay since you're late. Now you see how the scenario is actually just changed here, right? If your manager says you're late, right, that creates, oh my god, okay, I'm so sorry, I'll try to be, and that creates a little sort of negative, right? If he just made it a little more, right, if he just added a little more effort, what he would have said, I was wondering if everything was okay since you're late, है ना? That gets you a positive environment. Okay, he was generally concerned about me, and I will make sure that from tomorrow onwards, I will be sharp at work, है ना? At sharp 9 o'clock, if the work is timings at 9 o'clock, I'll be probably at 8:55, है ना? Because this man cares for me, right? Now that's how politeness can make a difference. Okay. Now, conversation formulas for requests. Okay. Formula 1. We'll be using modal verb, polite phrases, and the action. Okay. Let's see how the example is. Could you assist me with this report, please? Right. Now the same thing. If a general conversation would be taking place, how would we tell? Assist me with this report. Right. Now, you seeing how the difference actually matters? If I say assist me with the report, and if you're just adding this, could you assist me with this report, please? Irrespective of you're in a higher position, a please does not, make you down, right? It only makes sure that you're giving respect and you're taking respect. Simple as that, right? Would it be possible to reschedule our meeting, right? Instead of just typing a message to your subordinates that reschedule the meeting, I'm busy, right? That sounds very vague. That sounds very, not personal. You're not even getting involved in the conversation. You're just asking as a co-worker, just not even interacting. Now, this would be making so much more effect onto the conversation, right? Would it be possible to reschedule our meeting, right? You're not only telling that you want this meeting to be rescheduled, but also asking him or the other person that would it be possible to have the meeting rescheduled, even though you know that that person is in no situation or in no state to actually tell a no to you, right? But the small thing actually makes a greater impact on your organization as well. Okay, now let's see the formula number 2. Start with an apology and then put forward your request. Okay, let's see an example. I'm sorry to bother you, but could I have a minute of your time? Right? Now, for example, if you're a manager and if you actually are going to one of your subordinates or one of your juniors who is actually busy in his work, right? This sentence, like even though you just ask him, buddy, come here, right? That's again one. Other will be like, hey, can you please come here? I need you in my office right now. I need you in my cabin right now, right? This is the second, right? Third one will be this. I'm sorry to bother you. I'm sorry to bother you, but could I have a minute of your time? I'm sorry to bother you, but could I have a minute of your time? Now, what does that show? Ki, I'm sorry, I don't want to disturb your work, right? Because even I know if you're not working, obviously my work is getting affected. So I'm sorry to bother you. You can continue doing it, but could I have a minute of your time, right? You're respecting his time as well, and that person will immediately get up and actually address your issues. Clear? All right. Now, polite expressions for giving opinions. Okay. Use softening phrases. Now, I believe that, right? You can start a sentence with I believe that, right? Now, what does this show? Instead of telling that you are late or something, I believe that you came late today, right? Softening statements. In my opinion, it might be better to shift the office timings, right? Now, for example, if you're just having a general body meeting with your team, and you just, for example, the senior managers also have requested, to have the timings adjusted probably to a later half of the day, right? So that the clients are also available during that time. So you can just, instead of just telling me, the timings are going to be shifted, you can just have a little softening situation. What, in my opinion, it might be better to actually have the timing changed, because it'll be better that the clients also will be available at that time, right? Now, isme kya ho raha hai? What is happening here is that the team is also feeling involved, right? The team also is knowing why the timings are being shifted, right? It creates a good impact. I feel that perhaps, and you can continue with your statement, right? Now, these three are the basic softening statements that you should be learning to use in your daily life, all right, to create a better impact. Now, example, instead of this is wrong, what can we say? I believe there might be a mistake here. You see how things just actually gets changed? Instead of just telling this is wrong, have it changed and get back to me, right? That sounds so negative. Oh my God, I have to work on this again. What a normal positive response could be like, I believe there might be a mistake here. Can you please check that and let me know? Add so much positivity in that, right? Now, these are the things that you need to learn. Okay? Now, politeness in professional settings. Okay? Asking for clarification. Now, certain times you are stuck in a situation where things are not addressed clearly, or things are just left blank, or probably the person would have understood that, things are explained clearly, but it did not really get into your mind, right? How would you try? I'm sorry. Could you explain that again? Simple. Firstly, you're asking apology. I'm so sorry to have it repeated, right? But could you please explain that to me again? Right? Makes a big difference. Instead of just telling, could you please explain again? That sometimes irritates people, right? That I've already explained this once in such a clear voice, but this lady is not understanding, or this man is not understanding, right? Simple sorry in the front. I'm sorry, but could you please explain that again? Simple. All right. Making suggestions. May I suggest an alternative? Right, instead of telling I have a different approach to this, and you just start working, and not actually give attention to that, or actually not paying attention or respect to what the other individual or other colleague is has to say. Instead of that, you can just say, may I suggest an alternative, right? Firstly, you can also ask, may I suggest a better alternative, right? Now, what are you saying here? That firstly, you're asking, may I suggest? That's a request that you're putting forward, right? That puts the other person in a slightly higher situation to give, even though he does not have really a say there, but still, just for the sake of it, you're giving him, may I suggest a better alternative, right? In fact, when it comes to work and everything, if you have a better alternative that will actually ease time, money, and your efforts, alternatives are always accepted, right? So, may I suggest a better alternative is a best way to make a suggestion. Okay? Declining politely. Now, this is somewhere that everyone gets stuck, right? Saying no is a big issue nowadays, right? Now, what would you say instead of that? I appreciate the offer, but I'll have to decline, right? Now, you're appreciating the offer. I'm really sorry. I appreciate the offer, but I'll have to decline, right? How simple. Instead of saying I'm declining, right, and just walking off. That sounds so rude. That sounds so filled with attitude. People would be like, bloody, and they would just be going there, Instead of that, you're just telling, I appreciate the offer, but I'll have to decline. Simple. All right? Perfect. Now, handling disagreements with politeness. Okay? Now, first of all, whenever you're dealing with disagreements, it's really important that the other person is at least felt heard, right? Even though you have heard him, but you have to, this doesn't make any sense. I really have to put this down, right? You need to put in a proper step so that the other person actually gets it, that you have understood his point, but still you have a better thing to tell, right? Firstly, what you'll be doing, you'll be acknowledging the other person's point, right? Acknowledging is really important. I understand, right? Aapne jo bola, I understand, right? Acknowledge the other person's point. Use softening language. I understand, but could we use an alternative here? Right? Use a softening statement and offer a perspective. I understand. Could we use an alternative? I suggest that, we shift the work timings towards the afternoon. Right? Now, what are you doing it? You have disagreed with the statement that, this office has to be in the morning. You have acknowledged, I understand that person's thing. Use a softening language and offer your perspective at the same time. Okay. Now, I understand your perspective, right? Firstly, what are you saying? I understand. Now, this understanding, what is this? You're acknowledging the other person's point. I understand your perspective, but I think we might need to explore other options, right? But I think we might need to explore other options. Clear? Quite simple. Now you see yourself, right? When you start using these words in your, or these sentences or these phrases in your day-to-day managerial life or in your professional life, you'll see things changing around you. You'll see people changing around you, right? They'll start respecting you even more, right? And that's really important. Okay? Now, polite expression for small talk, right? Formulas for starting conversations, right? Hi, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to ask about ... You can fill it with anything, right? Now, if you're meeting someone, you're just telling, hi, I hope you're doing well, right? Firstly, you're telling hi, that's a greeting, right? I hope you're doing well. You're actually just concerned, right? Okay, since even if you have, say, spoken after like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, right? It's always better to tell the statement, I hope you're doing well, right? It's for a good cause, right? I hope you're doing well. I wanted to ask about ... I wanted to ask about when are you reporting back to the office or anything, right? Simple. It's great to see you again. How have you been? Right? Seeing someone after so long, it's great to see you again. How have you been? Right? Instead of just saying, okay, let's get back to work. All right, you've been absent for 2 weeks. You have a lot of work pending. Come, get back to work. Right? There are things that you can actually change when you're actually speaking in a more polite way. Right? It's great to see you again. Right? What difference does it make, right? Now I'll just tell you, it's great to see you again. How have you been? He would be like, I'm fine, sir. How about you? I'm good, okay. All right, now we have a little work that's actually left. Now let's get back to it, right? The person will be more involved in the work. He'll try to do his work more effectively, right? Instead of telling you've been off for 2 weeks, right? We have a lot of work pending. Get back to work. It sounds really rude, and the person will be like, oh my God, I've just been back. I don't really want to work here. Breaking his head, pulling his hair. That's the thing that you need to avoid. Okay? Keeping the conversation light and friendly. That's the one formula that you always need to keep in mind. Always keep the conversation light and very friendly. Okay? Irrespective, I know it's a professional environment. Professional does not mean you sound rude, right? You can always use better light statements to make the conversation more friendly. Okay? All right. Now, politeness in customer interactions. Right now, for example, you are a manager who has to handle customer queries as well, or if you are an employee that has to handle customer queries, right? Now, sometimes customers are like, oh, I hate your service. They use X, Y, Z statements to tell that, you're the worst company. You have treated them really bad and everything, right? Simple. I understand how frustrating this must be, right? Now, what this statement justifies is this says that you're showing empathy, right? You're giving empathy, you're expressing empathy. I understand how frustrating this must be, right? But give me some time, let me have this checked, and I'll get back to you, right? Irrespective of how frustrating they would be, but they'll still listen to you, okay? Because you've understood how frustrating it was, right? You're putting yourself in their shoe. Hey, I understand how frustrating this must be, right? Now, let me just have this analyzed and I'll get back to you, right? That puts a customer in a comfort zone. Okay, now this person is someone who's understanding me. Now he'll check about this and get back to me. Okay? Offer solution. Let me see what I can do to resolve this for you, right? Let's have this slide again. Let me see what I can do to resolve this for you, right? What are you offering? You're offering solutions, right? Now, for example, it was a genuine mistake from your end, right? Now you'll have to either, shed off, a couple of dollars or shed up a couple of rupees to, have this issue resolved from the company's end or from your end as well, right? Let me see what I can do to resolve this issue. Either give him an offer or, whatever the company policies are, have that done, okay? Because if you are at fault, make sure that you are actually taking the ownership and addressing the customer's issue, right? Because customer relationships can make your company grow for the longer run, okay? Example, turning complaints into positive conversations. Now, as I just mentioned to you, right? Imagine you are a telephonic company and you are receiving call from a customer, Now he says that, your network is so bad, I hardly get 2G here, and your company is promising 5G. Your response would be, I'm so sorry to hear that, sir. I understand how frustrating that would be, right? But trust me, this is not the experience we want you to have, right? Let me just have this checked and I'll get back to you, right? Now, what are you doing? Firstly, you're understanding the situation. Secondly, you're also telling that the company doesn't want the customer to feel that way, right? Now, let me see what I can do for you. Clear? Right? How you just turned a complaint into a positive conversation. The customer would be, all right, sure, can you please have this checked because it's really been a long time. Don't worry, sir, I'm here, right here for you. Practice exercise number 1, right? Rephrase these sentences using politeness and formulas, right? Now, these are 3 sentences here in front of you, right? First one is, give me the file. Second is, I don't agree with this. Third is, that's not possible, right? Now, these are 3 statements that I want you to work on, right? There's a comment box below this video, right? Have these statements, type them, right? On how you would be using politeness along with the formulas that I just told you, and how will you make this even more better and polite, okay? Have this done and drop a comment so that I know that you are actually working on it, okay? Perfect. Now, exercise number 2, asking for raise at work. Now imagine you are a employee and you have a manager. Obviously, you would have a senior manager as well, right? Even irrespective of you're a manager, you would have someone who's above you. And now, example, you need to ask for a raise at work, right? Have a thing typed, have a message or a clear sentence that you would be speaking to your manager and have that sent in the comment box, right? Number 1, number 2, number 3, okay? Resolving a misunderstanding with a colleague, right? Declining an invitation politely. Now for number 3, I've already given you an example here, okay? Thank you for inviting me, but I already have prior commitments, right? Now you are thanking him for actually inviting you, right? People usually, do not really invite. So you're firstly thanking him or her for inviting, right? But if you already have prior commitments, simply you'll have to sleep, right? It's a nice day after, a tough day or a tough week, right? You really want to just go home and sleep. It's a commitment, right? Now, apart from that, irrespective if you have any other things, like you have any appointments to attend to, right? Simply you just tell, I already have prior commitments. Clear? All right. Now, let's see about some tips, right? Now, as you see that, we have learned a little bit of politeness. Now, main thing is, irrespective of what's the word that's coming out of your mouth, you really need to handle your tone, right? You need to make sure that it's sounding politely, right? How have you been, right? It's a nice and polite statement. Now, if I tell, how have you been? All good? Doesn't really sound that well, right? Doesn't seem that polite, you know? Now, these things that you need to keep in mind, your tone, right? Politeness isn't just words, but how you say them, right? Be mindful of your cultural differences in politeness, okay? Irrespective of your cultural differences, be mindful of the politeness. Avoid overusing polite language. Balance is the key, right? Now, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, or, I'm so sorry, I forgot this, I'm so sorry, I'll do it again. Be mindful, right? Do not overuse polite languages, right? Balance is the key, okay? You want to sound professional, you want to sound empathetic, you want to sound polite. Balance is the key, all right? Perfect. Now let's come down to words to learn, right? Words to learn, the first word that we have here is inspire, right? What's the meaning? To encourage someone to take action, right? Managers usually inspire people, right? With their hard work, with their dedication, with their efforts towards the team, right? Her story inspired me to follow my dreams, right? This is a usage, right? If you already know about this particular word, all well, right? If you don't know, let's have this practice, right? Outlook. Now, since you are a little bit professional, outlook is not the application that we're referring to, right? A person's attitude or perspective on life is also called as outlook, okay? He has a positive outlook on his future, okay? It's a nice way. What? He has a positive outlook. Outlook is what? The person's attitude is positive towards his future. Clear? Next is ponder. Now, what does ponder mean? Ponder means to think deeply about something, right? I'm pondering, give me some time, right? She sat quietly pondering the meaning of life, right? Now, these are a couple of words that you want to be keeping in your mind, Okay. All right. The next few words we have is stimulate, right? Now, what does the word stimulate mean? Stimulate means to encourage or excite something. What does stimulate mean? To encourage or excite something. This new program is designed to what? To stimulate the economic growth. What? This new program is designed to stimulate the economic growth. Okay. Next is this camaraderie. What is it? Camaraderie. Meaning is the feeling of friendship and trust among people. The camaraderie among the team members was evident during the project. Okay, clear? Now these were overall 5 words that we had in the plate here for you today. All right. If you knew all these words, well and good, have them practice and make sure that you are completing the homework that's given to you. Right? Not homework. Basically, you just have to pause the video, have it typed below, and you were done for the day. All right. It's just for your understanding that are you understanding how the polite words are generally used in your day-to-day life? Okay. Please make sure that politeness is something that doesn't put you down. Okay. People think that if they are rude, if they are actually you know uh, not giving an attention to people and just moving forward without even giving a damn about that particular person, that doesn't make you a big person, right?